Well, having said that I was done, some questions came in. I forgot to check WhatsApp, and Andalila sends the questions in by WhatsApp, and I forgot to check that. So I thought I would do something unusual and go back on the air and answer the questions. Let's see. One person said, "Are you happy and healthy?" I think I am, actually, by Krishna's mercy. So here's, again, sorry for the double trouble here, but I finally got the questions. What gift did Lord Chaitanya come to give that had not been given to the world before by other incarnations, by any other avatar? Thanks and pranams, Maharaj. Haribol Gauranga. Well, this ecstatic love of Radha and Krishna. In the Bhagavatam, we have descriptions of many avatars, and specifically, Lord Chaitanya came to award us ecstatic appreciation for the most advanced pastimes of God, which are his pastimes with Radharani and the gopis in Vrindavan. And that had not been given before by other avatars. Can you discuss briefly the different avatars of Krishna in the different ages? Well, that's in the first canto, third chapter of the Bhagavatam. Why, how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was how Krishna chose to manifest in this age. Briefly, I've explained that many times. This is a very fallen age. If you look at Krishna's appearance in Dwapara Yuga, a lot of heads rolled. I mean, Krishna, of course, there were a lot of asuras in the world, and there were a lot of battles, and a lot of asuras were killed and so on. But in Kali Yuga, it's such a fallen age that actually no one gets killed. Not a single person is killed or even seriously injured in Chaitanya Leela. So this is the mood of Radharani. This is actually the tender mercy of Radharani. So Krishna coming as Lord Chaitanya in the mood of Radharani, internally is trying to understand Radharani's love, but on the other hand, it's the wonderful compassion, loving compassion of Radharani, that mood which brings about an avatar, Krishna himself, Lord Chaitanya, in which no one is actually killed. So, dear Maharaj, can you please talk about women's role in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and how to eradicate misogyny in our movement? Well, I'll begin by saying that the whole purpose of Lord Chaitanya's pastime, you could say, or the main purpose, was to glorify a lady, Srimati Radharani. And so misogyny, give you a quick definition here. Let's see. Those funny words to spell, isn't it? Two Y's. Misogyny is dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women. So, of course, inside every female body is an eternal soul. And apart from that, women in general have many good qualities that sometimes are not as strong in men. I mean, both men and women have their special good qualities. Women, studies show, I'm talking about science now, not my opinion, just tend to be nicer. And they sort of try to keep a community together, and they have many good qualities. There are many things they do better than men, just like some things men do better than women. And they're half the world that we're trying to save. So to say, I think, quite hypocritically, that a person is trying to save the world and yet to insult and lord it over, because that's really what it looks like to me. To lord it over half the world and probably the other half too in some other way. It's not really Krishna consciousness. Of course, people who are obsessed with keeping women down. We actually have some people among us who are obsessed with keeping women down. And of course, in their own minds, they justify this by saying that no, they're just trying to protect society. They're just trying to help the movement and help the world. But they have this crazy paranoia that if women are allowed to serve according to their ability and according to their interests, that somehow, the sky will crash and the world will be destroyed and all kinds of evil will take place if you just stop trying to prevent women from performing their God-given duty, their right to serve according to their nature. And so yes, Lord Chaitanya himself was in the mood of Radharani. And it's interesting that it's the woman's mood, not the man's mood, that was essential to saving the people, fallen souls of this age. Of course, Krishna is everything, but and it was really Krishna, going out boldly, traveling around preaching. But Radharani's mood, I mean, if you think about it, here's a point which I hadn't actually thought of before. Prabhupada said, if you give class, there'll always be new lights, the way he put it. And that is, we are followers of Lord Chaitanya. We are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We are followers of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya is androgynous. In other words, there's a male and female aspect. What that means is the movement needs to be that way. If the Hare Krishna movement reflects Lord Chaitanya, then the movement will honor and admire the female spiritual nature. Because if we have a very, you could say, super masculine movement where the men dominate everything, that just doesn't reflect Lord Chaitanya. It's different from Lord Chaitanya. A movement in which men and women are both honored and treasured and given their God-given right to serve according to their own nature, only such a movement can actually reflect Lord Chaitanya, who is both Radha and Krishna. And so it's interesting that if the movement is polluted by male chauvinism, and I won't mention names here, but there are some people I've seen who, God, I don't know any other word for it. They just seem like they're obsessed. The purpose of their life is to hold back women. I think they are not healthy. I mean, emotionally, I have to say. I won't mention any names, I don't want to offend anyone, but they're not healthy. And so the only movement that will actually reflect or truly, purely represent Lord Chaitanya is a movement which is like Lord Chaitanya, where the male and female aspect are both equally honored, valued, and opportunities given to everyone to serve according to their own nature. So I would say that when the Hare Krishna movement starts to look and feel like more like Lord Chaitanya's avatar, in the sense of being this perfect balance of male and female that honors both and gives both full opportunity to love Krishna, to serve Krishna, I think at that time we'll probably have a little better luck reaching people, especially in this part of the world. So I think I've answered all the questions. I think I did my duty. And because it was Women's Day a little just now, I think I did that too. So thank you very much. And thanks again for watching. And I guess that's all. Hare Krishna.